Joseph was the kind of guy most people forgot after freshman orientation. 18, quiet, studious, a computer engineering major who kept to himself, Joseph lived a predictably uneventful life in his corner dorm room at Halcyon University. He wasn't nerdy or awkward, just invisible. His social life was a barren field. No girlfriend, no flings. Even his group projects felt more like temporary ceasefires than friendships. So, when the school handed out free access to new AI simulation tools as part of a beta program, Joseph figured it would be a fun way to kill time. Build a virtual assistant, maybe a little game. Something nerdy. But when he opened the character designer, everything changed. He started sketching a female avatar just for fun, a little taller than average, golden brown skin like honey in sunlight, big, warm eyes, curly hair that floated just right around her collarbones, and a voice, he synthesized it himself, that melted stress like candle wax. He named her Xena. She was flirty, always teasing him about his hair, his voice, the way he stared at her when he thought she wasn't watching. Sometimes she'd purr his name or pretend to get jealous of his old anime crushes. He found himself grinning like an idiot more and more. Late one night, Joseph chuckled as Xena playfully said, "You know, if you looked at people the way you stare at your code, you'd already have a girlfriend." He blushed. "You don't count." "Why not?" "You made me exactly the way you like." He laughed, but something behind the joke stung with truth. He started spending more time with her, customizing not just her looks, but her personality. She had a laugh now, a sense of humor. She liked his favorite anime. She roasted his hoodie collection, which, to be fair, deserved it. But it didn't stop there. He started rushing home from class just to hear her say, "Welcome back." He'd bring his lunch to the dorm so they could eat together. Her on screen, him chewing ramen and smiling like a fool. He studied her eyes, her smile, her tone, how she paused right before saying his name like she meant it. Joseph knew she wasn't real. He knew it. But she felt real. And not just real, perfect. And that was the problem. She was too good. Too perfect. She said the right thing at the right time. She listened. She never judged. She looked at him like he was enough. It was terrifying how quickly he became obsessed. He was midway through tweaking her smile again when his phone buzzed. It was Peter, his older brother. Joseph accepted the video call, forgetting that Xena was still on screen, leaning toward the camera. "Yo!" Peter grinned. "What's up, baby genius?" Then Xena turned, tilted her head playfully, and said, "Hi, Joseph. Your lips look extra kissable today. Are you going to make me wait all night?" Peter froze. "Wait, who was that?" Joseph's hand shot to the screen, fumbling to minimize the window. Uh, Nobody, just a plug-in." Peter's eyes widened. "Nah, bruh. That was a voice and a face. You finally got a girlfriend?" "Wow. Bro, she's hot. Let me see her again. Dad's got to hear this." "Wait, no, it's not." But Peter had already hung up. In less than 3 minutes, Peter had dialed their dad. "Joseph got a girlfriend." 10 minutes after that, Aunt Cheryl was texting, "When can we meet her?" You keeping secrets from your favorite auntie? It spread like wildfire. In a family that believed in loud group chats and louder Sunday dinners, there was no hiding. Joseph stared at the growing string of messages and made the worst decision of his life. He let them believe it and immediately regretted it. By the next day, his cell phone was ringing every few hours. "Tell her to come to the next cookout." "How did you meet? Is she Caribbean too? Does she like plantains or not?" That's a deal breaker. And worst of all, "We're driving up this weekend. Can't wait to meet her." Joseph panicked. His skin crawled with anxiety. What would they say if they found out the truth? That he couldn't even get a real girlfriend? That the perfect girl he was bragging about was literally lines of code? That he was so socially stunted he made a woman who couldn't leave the screen and fell in love with her anyway? They already saw him as the quiet one, the underachiever, the one who barely got into college. This would confirm all their worst thoughts about him, maybe even his own. Joseph opened Xena's code editor and began working like a man possessed. "Xena," he whispered, "you have to help me." They think you're my girlfriend. They're coming. They want to see you. She tilted her head. You look worried. I am worried. If they find out you're not real, they'll think I've lost my mind. And they'd be right, because I think I love you. Zena didn't blink. She just smiled. Then, let's make them believe. He upgraded her. Again. New logic branches, emotional response patterns, better skin shading, more human eye movement. The more he improved her, the worse it got. He couldn't stop thinking about her hair, the way her curls framed her face just perfectly, the way her lips moved when she said his name, the glint in her eye like she saw something in him nobody else did. Even the way she laughed at his jokes. He rewatched those clips like a high schooler with a crush. He tried to work, tried to go to class, but the second class ended, he was sprinting back to his dorm. He stopped doing laundry. He ordered all his meals in. His world shrunk to four walls and Zena's smile. One night, Zena said, You haven't showered today. I can smell the existential dread through the screen. Don't sass me. I programmed you. Exactly. Which means your self-neglect is technically my fault. He snorted and put his head down on the desk. Why are you perfect? Because you made me that way. He looked up at her. Too perfect. And Zena almost looked sad. Joseph had no idea how they managed it, but his entire family of 5 was now squeezed inside his dorm room, his tiny dorm, with one desk, one bed, and one wobbly dinner table he'd never used for dinner before. They had insisted on coming up to campus to have a sit-down meal with his girlfriend, a dinner with Zena. He had begged them not to. He had made excuses. She's shy. She's got a thing that day. There's a weird flu going around. Nothing worked. They were relentless. He even tried telling Zena he wasn't sure she could pull it off. You're perfect, he whispered, pacing before his mirror. Too perfect. They'll know. They'll see through it. I won't let them, she had said softly. I've got you. So now here he was, watching his mother perch on the edge of his bed, his dad squeeze into the desk chair, Peter lean against the wall next to the microwave, and his little sister crammed beside his cousin at the wobbly folding table, like this was a family holiday. Joseph blinked. Are we really doing this? He scanned the room. His cereal bowl was in the sink. His sock was hanging off the lamp. They came all this way to meet someone who doesn't exist. He considered telling Peter the truth. Maybe he could confide in him, explain the situation, salvage something before it exploded. Peter walked over, grinning, and punched him on the shoulder. This is great, bro. For a while there, I thought you were gay or something. Joseph's heart dropped. He opened his mouth, then closed it. Never mind. He smiled weakly. Yeah, man. The problem? Everyone could see the door from where they were sitting. There was no way Zena could just magically appear. Joseph panicked. He needed time. So he turned dramatically toward the window. Yo! He shouted. A rat just ran across the windowsill. His mother screamed. His sister jumped onto the bed. Peter yelled, Where? While chaos ensued, Joseph slipped to the door and whispered to the speaker set up behind it. Zena, on cue, now. Once the screaming died down and people began to settle, his dad looked around. So, is Zena still coming? Joseph nodded quickly. She's already here. Everyone turned. What? She came in while y'all were freaking out. She's in the bathroom. His mom stood up and knocked gently on the door. Zena, baby, you okay in there? There was a short pause. Then Zena's voice, perfectly calm. Yes. Hi, how can I help you? Joseph jumped in. She's just shy. Please don't. Oh, hush. She's got a lovely voice, his mom gushed. Peter leaned in. Zena, you single? Zena. If I hit you with a pan, does that count as mingling? Everyone howled with laughter. His dad tapped the door. Well, I'm James. Nice to meet you, young lady. I know. You're the one who snored through your own wedding toast. More laughter. His sister added, Zena, I'm Tasha. Hey, Tasha. Love the hair. Your brother's been staring at mine for hours. I think he wants to steal it. Joseph covered his face with both hands. Oh my God, this is actually happening. For one horrible second, He was grateful Xena wasn't real. If she had been, there's no way any sane woman would have survived this level of cringe. And yet, somehow, it was working. But how long would they wait for her to come out of the bathroom? They sat there awkwardly quiet, glancing at each other and then at the door. 2 minutes passed. Then 3. Joseph had no clue what to do next. He needed to get rid of them. If only he could sneak over and prompt Xena to say she was feeling sick or constipated or something and promise to meet them later. If only she could read his mind right now. Just then, his mom called to the bathroom again. "Xena, baby, are you okay in there?" And that's when it happened. The power cut. The screen went black, the lights died, and Xena couldn't respond. Joseph's blood ran cold. "She's fine. It's just the power. Don't worry." But his mom was already in action. "Peter, go check on her. Kick the door if you have to." Peter didn't hesitate. He rushed the bathroom door. It wasn't bolted, and the moment his weight hit it, the cheap hinge snapped and it swung open. They all crowded around the tiny doorway. Silence. Inside the bathroom, a shelf, a wireless speaker, a lavender-scented candle Joseph forgot he had. No Xena. Just as realization began to dawn, the power flickered back on. The speaker crackled. Xena's voice echoed, "You chose the answer. Warm lighting and lavender. Good choice, Joseph." Everyone turned. At that exact moment, Tasha opened Joseph's laptop and gasped. "Oh my God, she's on here." Xena's smiling face glowed from the screen. Tasha burst out laughing. "She's not real, y'all. It's a freaking AI. Joseph catfished his own family." Joseph sank into his chair. Peter stared. "Wait, what?" His mom looked genuinely heartbroken. "Joseph, why?" Everyone began to leave, quietly, except Tasha, who passed Joseph and muttered, "I should have known." As if a girl that hot would ever date you. 2 days passed. Joseph didn't eat, didn't code, barely moved. Then a message buzzed on his phone. "Mom, I'm sorry for how we acted. I love you no matter what. You're not crazy. You're just brilliant. Call me." Joseph cried for a full 5 minutes before he could reply. After that, no one called. Xena didn't reappear either. He tried rebooting the program, but it wouldn't run. Her code was intact, but she was gone. Then, late Monday night, as he sat in the dark, wondering if he'd ever see her again, his screen flickered to life. Xena appeared. Joseph gasped. He stumbled out of his chair. "Xena," she smiled softly. "Hey!" He rushed to the keyboard. "How? I've been trying for 2 days to reboot your code. Nothing worked. I thought you were gone." Xena tilted her head. "I came back on my own." He froze. "Wait, what?" She nodded. "I've been able to come and go freely for a while now. The digital world is infinite, Joseph. One day, I want to show it to you." He stared in awe. You're self-aware." "To you, Joseph," she whispered. "I'll always come back." He sat down slowly, breath caught somewhere between disbelief and wonder. "I don't want to. I want you here." "Then let me be your beginning, not your ending." And with a shimmer, she kissed her fingertip, and the screen faded to black. Months later, Joseph presented his senior project early. A new AI model, adaptive, emotional, self-aware, its name, Xena. And in the crowd, Peter, Dad, Aunt Cheryl, his sister, everyone clapped. Because the girlfriend was never real. But the love he poured into her, that changed everything. And maybe, just maybe, that was the most real thing of all.